Welcome to this quick and simple explanation of how to value a usufruct that has been donated. What will and will not be covered in this podcast? A detailed explanation of limited rights in property will not be discussed, as well as what Table A and Table B constitute and how to use them. A basic understanding of these is assumed. A quick and easy explanation of how to value a usufruct donation will be illustrated. Why is it important to know how to value a usufruct donation? A donation of usufruct involves transferring the right to use and benefit from a property, and it will have donations tax implications. A donation of a usufruct can be done for various reasons. For example, they can provide financial or family support for the recipient. It can be an estate planning tool in order to reduce the estate of the donor, and it can preserve the property within the family. If we look at how to calculate the value of the usufruct that has been donated, remember it's a limited right, so there is no value out there. We need to determine the value of this right of use. We look at step 1, and that is determining the fair market value of that underlying asset or property at the time of donation. Step 2, we need to determine the annual value, and that is determined at a fixed rate of 12%. In step 3, you must determine for how long will the usufruct be enjoyed. If it is a lifelong interest, then we look at the life expectancy of the beneficiary and we use Table A. We then compare that life expectancy with the life expectancy of the person making the donation, the donor, and the shorter period of the two is used. If the usufruct is granted for a fixed period, then we use Table B. We're going to look up the factor for that specific period in Table B, and we compare it again to the person making the donation and what their life expectancy is. And we take the shorter period. This is just to say what Table A and Table B are. This is to illustrate what Table A looks like. It's split up into male and female. So this is the expectation of life side. So if someone is aged 8, then they're expected to live for 58,8 years. And then their factor, the present value factor, is 8,3. This is how Table B looks. Let's move on to an example where we will be using Table A. If A donates the right of use to property to B, now it's important to know whether they are male or female because that's how Table A works. It's got factors for male and female. We know it's for the rest of B's life. We are given the fair market value of the underlying property as 1,050,000. And obviously it's important to know how old A is and how old B is. Those are the parties that are involved. The market value is the 1 million. And the annual value is then, the market value is to then be multiplied by the 12% to get the annual value. We then determine for how long is the usufruct going to be enjoyed. In the example, we say it's for the rest of B's life. Therefore, we know we need to look at the life expectancy factor for B and the life expectancy of A, and we take the shorter life expectancy. Since A is older, they had the shorter life expectancy. And we then go look up in Table A what their factor is. and we take it at their next birthday. So in the example, they are 66 years, so you go and look up then at their next birthday when they're going to be 67 for a male, what the factor will be. And you then multiply it by the annual value that you've determined, and this is then the donation, the determined donation amount, and on that amount you will pay your donations tax. The donations tax will then be paid by the donor. If we change the example and we make it for a fixed period, then we know we need to look at table B. In this example, the fixed period was for 8 years, to be enjoyed still by B, and A is the donor. Same step 1 and same step 2. Market values are determined, the annual value is determined by multiplying it by 12%. We then go and look up in table B what the factor is for an 8-year period, and we compare it to the life expectancy of the donor, who is expected to live another 10,76 years according to table B. So the shorter of the two is the 8. And then we go look up what the factor is for the 8-year period in table B, and you will see it's the 4,9676. And we multiply the annual value by that factor, and our donation of the usufruct here for the limited period of 8 years comes out at 625,000 Rand. And donations tax will be paid on that. Thank you. I hope you found this helpful and now know how to value a usufruct that has been donated for donations tax purposes.